How do you set up your notary business for long-term success? Now, this is something that I really believe strongly in because as an entrepreneur that jumped from business to business to business, I was stuck in that whole loop of, hey, I want to make this business and do this, and I want to do this. But nowadays, when I think about my business, all I'm thinking about are what can I do that's going to bring me in the most amount of money possible, and I can do it for a long period of time. And for me, the notary business was one of those businesses where I was like, and anytime I had problems, anytime I had troubles, I could always fall back on the notary business because I'm offering a service to people that people need. You know what I'm saying? So they need notaries. So it's like, I know that I was going to get money from this. Now it just came to how can I make sure that my business can stay around for as long as possible so I can ensure my long-term success. And that's what I want to explain to you guys. If you're new to the channel, my name is Knowledge, seven-figure entrepreneur. Been in the notary business for almost going on 8 years. Anyways, so how do you set yourself up for notary business and how do you set your notary business up for long-term success? Starting with the basics. All you do is start with the basics and make sure that you have your certification. All your licenses that you have is up to date. You want to make sure that your commission, piece of hair went in my mouth. Your permission, your license, all the documents that you need are up to date. And this just avoids any like unnecessary confusion, any unnecessary problems that can come back to bite you in the butt in the future. That alone, making sure that you're good to go with that. You know when your things expire, you know when your insurance expires. That is like gives you that peace of mind, and you have that knowing you have that ready and good to go in the back end. Next thing I want to put here is I'm putting this in the beginning because I was going to put this at the end, but I know a lot of people don't even last that long. But it's just ongoing education. And I know when I talk about this, people kind of roll their eyes, but you want to always be learning about the notary business. There's always something you can learn. There's always a business out there that's doing better than yours. And there's always something that changes. And you can always learn new strategies. So you always need to be reading books. It doesn't have to only be about the notary business. It could be about business in general. It could be about marketing. It could be about sales. It could be about funnels. It could be about websites. It could be about ads. It could be so many things. But the more you learn, the more you're able to add different things to your business, which then helps strengthens it, adds more legs to your business. So in case of, let's say, a slow season or a slow year or things that may be happening in the world that causes people to wear masks, wink, wink, you're able to still survive through things like that. And you won't survive if you're only basing your current situation off the knowledge that you have now. If you're always learning, you're always able to adapt in any type of situation. You're always able to know, all right, how can I pivot? What can I do? This is other ways to make money. You need to do that. You need to do that. And I would say don't be cheap in investing in the right tools. What I will say is in the beginning, when you're first starting off in the notary business, you get what you can afford and how you can get and what will make you get profitable as fast as possible. So instead of writing on a sheet of paper, you'll write in Excel sheets because it's cheap, it's free. And then from there, you write in a CRM, but you stack and you build your way up. But one thing that's been very important for me in my business, especially now, is making sure that I have the right tools. Because I was explaining this analogy to my mom because she was asking like, hey, what are you working on in the business now? I'm like, there's always something to work on because I'm always learning. I'm always learning. But I'm investing in better tools. So for example, I explained it to her like this. Let's say that you're a skinny kid. You can only carry 10 pounds. Imagine you carrying 10 pounds. When you're carrying those 10 pounds, it's easy. It's easy for you to carry those 10 pounds. But now when it's 100 pounds, you can't carry those 100 pounds because you're too weak. You're too weak to carry those 100 pounds. So how are you able to carry those 100 pounds is being able to be a stronger person. So you need to work out so that you're able to do it. So let me just give you a little visual. This is you holding 10 pounds. You holding those 10 pounds, it's easy for you to do. It's easy. You can carry those 10 pounds easily. But when that pound is 100 pounds and you're trying to carry that, you're here struggling. You can't carry that. So you need to get stronger. And the pounds, in this case, is the clients that you're getting. And what happens is you, in this case, is the business. As you get more clients, it's going to get harder to manage them if you don't have the right systems. So your business systems, I'll put this business system tools, same thing. Your tools need to be good to go, because the better you have your tools, the more you're able to take on more clients. But if you put this same system and you're getting 1,000 clients versus that same system and you're getting 10 clients, you're not going to be able to handle all that weight. You got to get bigger. You got to get bigger muscles so you can hold up that weight. You need to have weight on your muscles. Y'all get the visual. I'm a horrible drawer. But you need to be stronger so you can carry that. That means your tools need to be the best possible tools to be able to take on more business. That's how you're able to stand for the long run. Because if you have weak tools and your business is slowly growing, it's going to come to a point where your business crumbles because it can't carry that weight. It can't carry that load. You got to get stronger. You got to get better tools. So it's important that you invest in the right tools. It's going to cost more. But as you make more, it's going to offset those costs. So that transition period is a little bit of annoying, because what will happen is the tool that you're using now is cheap and you're able to hold on to that business and you're able to scale with that business. But then it gets to a point where you need a better tool, but that tool is going to be more expensive, but it allows you to take on more business. So there's going to be a little gap in between where it's like, okay, it's expensive, but I need it because it's going to help me make more money. So just be prepared for that. That's what happens when you're investing in the right tools, but that'll enable you to have that long-term success in the business because you're able to, take on more business. Next, you need to make sure that your online presence is built. But this needs to be an ongoing task. So you don't need to just post every once in a while. You need to create a system to have someone always posting for you. You need to be always posting, always bringing in more clientele. But once people think about like, oh man, I gotta make a video every day. No, batch your videos. Have someone post it for you on your online, on your content. Have someone post it on your website. Whatever it may be, you need to be consistent with that. It needs to be ongoing. That's how you have long-term success. And what happens is, the more you put out over time, the more credible you become, because you're putting out lots of information so people can see your consistency. People can see the knowledge that you're giving out, all of that stuff. Look, take me for example. Use me. I'm teaching. I'm doing what I'm teaching. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with your business. Consistently put out that content until you become strong enough for other people to believe what you're putting out there. And then they want to book you and use your services. That's how you build your notary business. You keep putting that information out there. They always see you. They're going to use you. Same exact thing. It's the same exact principle in business. It's not like rocket science or anything like that. Offering the multiple services, that comes with time. But I would say, like, when you're building your business, you start off with like one or two niche things. When you get to the point where you do those niche things in your sleep, the whole system is automated at least 90%, then you move on to the next thing. You don't try to be a apostille and do fingerprint and then do general. You don't do all of that at once. Learn from me. I did everything at one time. Had I just stuck to one thing, you would become a master in that thing, and then you could worry about doing the next thing and then becoming a master in that thing. But when you offer multiple services, that's how you do it. Start with one thing and then add on another, and then add on another. And before you know it, you have a business that can tackle all these different avenues and niches, and that can last you within the long term. That's how you have long-term success. Because let's say that you have a slow season. If it's slow for general notary work, you know it's going to pick up for apostille. If it's slow for apostille, it's going to pick up for estate planning. If it's slow for estate planning, it's going to pick up for fingerprinting. But this is what happens when you build and you master each one of these over time. It makes sure that you can ensure your long-term success. That's how you ensure your long-term success and make sure, like, okay, cool. No matter what happens, I can stand the test of time. Next is your referral network. Watch my video where I was talking about the 3 different types of referrals. You have your you got your custos, you got your profs, which is your professionals, and you got your notaries. Build up your notary network so much so that business is always coming in to you because you provide such excellent notary services. The stronger your notary network, the more business you're going to get. This should go without being said also, but your organization needs to be on point. Because what happens is, as your business become, it's kind of like having the right tools. They kind of all go hand in hand. As you get more business, it's going to get harder and harder to keep up with all these things. So your organization needs to be on point, to the point where it's like you're not worrying about missing appointments, missing anything like that. You're not worried about missing appointments because you're super organized. And then I would say, for the last two, I have it here on my notes, is creating a clear contract and monitoring your finances. Hopefully you guys can see that. Can you see that? No, you can't even see what I'm writing. So next up is your creating your clear contracts and your finances. These contracts is going to save your ass. When you need your contract to save you, it's going to come and save you. People want to skip over this part because they feel everybody gets a little weird when it comes to contracts. But if you're doing this and you're in America, just know we're the land of suing. People will sue you for everything, for anything. You could sneeze and they'll sue you for sneezing in their vicinity or disturbing the peace. Don't matter. You need to have your contracts in place. You need to have your service agreements in place, your completion form. All that stuff needs to be in place because it'll save you. If people try not to pay you, you have contracts. You can try to enforce your contracts and it'll ensure your long-term success because you have a clear definition on what you're doing. You have all the agreements in place so that way when you're working with clients, they know what's up because all your stuff is clear and it's good to go. That's how you ensure long-term success, by having your stuff in order. You want to have your stuff in order. You're not going to stand the test of time treating this business like a side hustle, because then you're going to get paid like a side hustle. And it's always going to be a side hustle because you're not taking it seriously. And people just say side hustle because they want to have extra money coming in on the side. But even if it's a side hustle, you got to treat it like it's a main business. You got to treat it like it's your main thing. Last but not least is mastering your finances. If you don't master your finances, you will 100% not last at all. You will 100% not last, because what's going to happen, let me do that in case y'all want to screenshot. I'm just making it clearer. What's going to happen is, as more money starts coming in, you're going to think you have more money than you actually do. And if you're not keeping very close attention to this, when your business needs you to the most, you're going to fail. Knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if you master your finances, master using those sales sheets that I taught you guys about, you'll always stay on top. You'll always know when you're profitable. You always know when you have money for things. But you need to monitor your finances and be on top of it. Get a bookkeeper if you need. It's going to be a very worth it expense to have a bookkeeper. Like I said in the past, that's something that took me to the next level. When my brother joined the business and we turned this thing into a family business, he's naturally good at math. He took some accounting courses, learned how to master our finances. If you don't know where to start, pick up the book, Profit First. Mike Michalowicz, read that book. Completely changed our business. Completely changed it. So much so that any business that we create from now on, that's going to be our accounting system. Forget GAAP accounting, which is general accounting practices or procedures or policies. I think it was general accounting practices. We use the Profit First system. Get the book, Mike Michalowicz, get an ebook, but you want something where you can actually read it and master that and conduct your business like that. This isn't financial advice, but I'm telling you guys, that's what worked for us. Use it if you want. It's up to you. But yeah, this is how you set your notary business up for long-term success. Trust me, it's worth it. Do it. And all of these things could make sure that you stand the test of time. Most of these notary businesses are going to come and go. They're like a fad. Treat this like a business. Treat this like you're going to have it for the next 5 to 10 years, and you will have it for the next 5 to 10 years. But you can't half-ass it. Do it. If you need help setting it up, if you need help for long-term success strategies, go ahead and click on the link in the description and book a call with me. I'll gladly help you get to 2 to 5K plus in your notary business. If you need free tools, go ahead and go down, and there's 100% free tools that you could use to help you as a beginner notary or an experienced notary that wants more tools. If you need even more things that you can use in your business actively, like a phone call script that helps you convert phone calls. If you need an email template, which you could send out to different companies, and you also need a list of 300 signing services that you can sign up with so you can have money coming in with you on the background, get the Mobile Notary Mastery bundle in the comments in the description below. Very inexpensive. Go ahead and download that, and it'll help you out a lot. And there's a lot more things that come into that bundle. That's just what I wanted to let you guys know about, because those are like the most common ones that people love a lot. So go ahead and get that. Don't fall behind. Don't slack. If you need me, let me know. Book a call. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out.